Hey everyone, Mr. MTRG here, and I know occasional locations. I'll explain that completely later. But right now, the live stream is going on right now, and I had the impeccable timing of just happening to choose like, let's see what's going on at SGC. Holy shit, the death battle's about to start. So, why not? Let's go! I don't know, by the way, I know it's gonna be a little... Again, I'll explain later. But Goku vs. Superman, you already know what I thought in the last... whatever. Point is, I think Goku is going to lose and Superman is going to win because I don't care how many power-ups Goku gets. The point is this. Did you see the stats from the beginning of Superman vs. Goku? Look at those and just add, I don't know, 20 or 10 times that. It's not going to change a difference. Anyway, let's watch.
Please go ahead and get your hands up. About to lead you in the most intense SGC.
Alright, let's go, let's go.
Get those hands up.
Oh, okay, SGC.
1, 2, 3.
SGC.
Introducing the people behind.
I totally knew how to do that. Alright. Oh, there's like... Are those dolls or those people just... No, those are dolls. Alright. Wow, everyone's excited. There's a guy in a Super Saiyan costume right there. But yeah, my new digs. What do you think, y'all? Pretty cool place.
What's going on, everybody?
Right there. I really wish I could somewhat support another way for anime, but
there's a little tradition we have. If you've ever been to a death battle panel before,
no, I have not.
Your help with it. We're gonna start this thing off right, and I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. It's time for a death battle panel. I need all of you guys to do it with me.
Oh shit!
Boomstick voice. Those of you who have a voice left, you can already.
Oh no, his voice.
I've never heard a smattering of like boomstick rambles there. That was great. All right, ready?
All right, I'll try.
2, 3.
It's time for a death battle panel. All right, we gotta go get something.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Chad. I play boomstick.
Let's see. Come on, open.
Hello.
Got some Mountain Dew. Got from a fridge.
Over to our right, this is Torian.
Hi, Torian.
Animator.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. By the way, if you actually see my Sam Fisher versus Solid Snake death battle, let's watch. He commented on the video saying that I was complaining throughout the video. I want to make that clear that I was not complaining. I was just kind of joking around, you know.
Yeah,
that's him. So it's his fault.
Yeah.
Nothing to say about that.
And then over to our left, we have a new addition to the editing and writing
of
Death Battle, Nick Kramer.
Hi, Nick. Wow, okay. Nick, you're going on a successful show.
Nick. What a face. Nick,
Nick face. There he is.
You do a lot of the stuff that I do, right? The writing, the editing, the directing.
I do pretty much anything you do except for voice of characters. So.
Yeah. So
oh, really? Ben voices characters? I had no idea he did that.
Ooh, man. The first one I did is also, it's honestly one of my favorites. Batman vs. Captain America. I wrote that one.
I hate that one. That one's just that death battle only existed for the sole fact that Devin didn't hear that one.
Speaking of Deadpool, I believe we have Deadpool's actor in the audience. Takahata 101, Chris Arnott.
No, where is that guy? Where is he? Right. There he is. I can't tell which one's him.
and of course, a modern favorite of mine, Solid Snake versus Sam Fisher.
Yeah. Again, holy crap! Are they made of balloons? That is impressive.
Too many flips.
Man, I hope you guys are having a good time. Are you?
Yeah. Alright, I want to point out that the Captain America versus Batman one solely existed just for Batman to win.
There's lots we were watching from backstage. You guys are going crazy.
Wow, his voice.
I looked up, yeah.
Wow, his voice is... This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is... Oh.
Also, I'm going to point it out before I forget, but if you see these ridiculously awesome creations, Bruce Carr is our balloon guy, and he made these.
Bruce, here, there he is. Hey, Bruce.
Yeah. Holy shit. Did he put monkey ears like that? Goku's head looks like it's a bunch of bananas.
Look at this balloon Kamehameha right here. Look at that.
Where?
Really?
Speaking of which, I've been walking around the con today. I've noticed a lot of people either dressed up as Goku or Superman or wearing something related to Goku or Superman. If you have something that kind of shows your team, go ahead and stand up real quick.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta put something on.
Represent.
Now, please don't start fighting.
Not yet, at least.
Okay, putting on support. Putting on support.
We also have a Wiz cosplayer, apparently.
Right?
This works.
Like, wow.
It's awesome.
Nice.
I'm actually really surprised we saw a Wiz cosplayer before a Boomstick cosplayer.
I know, he said the shotgun
Holy
was
shit! My
so
headphones are
hard.
hot.
That was sad.
And you're wondering how the dark side of the moon count as support? I don't know. You
Probably
pick
not
it.
safe to wear.
It's part of the fun. Oh man, my voice is shot.
Oh my god.
It's part of the fun. There.
There we
Just give
go.
me this mystery liquid.
There's
It
water
was just
waiting
here.
for you. It's just been waiting for you.
Just
What's the
drink
worst
it.
that
Don't
could
ask
happen?
any questions.
That's John St. John's saliva.
That was probably pure drugs.
Your favorite.
Anyway, all right, guys. Here's how the panel's going to work tonight. We're going to start off with a Q&A, and the disclaimer for the Q&A: no Goku versus Superman questions.
Yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to split this into two parts.
We're going to show you the premiere
Like the actual death battle and
And
this.
afterwards, we're going to open it up for another like 10 to 15 minutes or so, and that's when you can ask any questions about that kind of stuff, or just ask general battle questions again. But again, no Goku versus Superman questions until
Okay.
after you see the video, okay? All right? Cool. You guys can line up right here at this mic, and we're going to get to it. Also, please do not run.
Yeah. Do not run, please.
Do not run. Oh, what? I can't ask. I can't ask them in the chat. Aww. Oh, well, I guess this works. Holy shit, that's a lot of people.
Do not run. We'd only like one character to die tonight.
Okay, who's on?
Uh-huh.
All right. And if you guys are still moving, if we could kind of let's bring it on down so we can hear the questions and answer them.
All right.
I'm good. What's up?
Oh, nothing. I'm just glad I finally got up here first. I never get here first.
Well,
All right.
congrats.
All right, thank you. All right, two questions. One, will you ever pay your intern?
Hell no.
Maybe food every so often?
Sometimes.
Holy shit, you hear that evil like
Maybe we'll pay
No,
Jess.
the whole point of the show is that we don't pay her so that she gets the show.
Yeah, every time. Keep watching Death Battle. That was how we paid her.
Okay. All right, real question now. Will there ever be a Dante versus Bayonetta death battle?
Okay, is there seriously?
And how many beds will be destroyed?
Okay. Here's something. I'm going to answer that with maybe, and honestly, I'm probably going to answer every single suggestion with the answer maybe. So I'm going to just kind of answer all of them right now.
Maybe.
Blank question mark? Maybe.
Maybe.
Also, another thing to know for the Death Battle Q&As, sometimes we'll have questions of like, who would win between these two people? And it's like, I'm not God. Like, we have to like look up and do research and everything like that. So it's like, I'm not like, yeah, like this fiction
God versus
God. It's
devil.
immediately like, oh well. So
Death Battle takes a lot of time to research and do the math. And
no, it's
Yeah.
easy, right? Ragnar versus Soul, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was easy.
Oh, can I talk about that for just a second?
Oh, okay.
Just a second.
Okay, I want.
Well, these guys gave me Ragnar the Blood Edge versus Soul Bad Guy to do.
Should be pretty quick, Nick. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're fighting game characters. Who cares? It's not going to be a lot of research. Well, they're anime fighting game characters. There is a lot. And it was just, it melted my brain trying to research Ragnar the Blood Edge. I'll just say that much right now.
This is pretty early on. Like, this is the second one you did too, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this will be a good intro to kind of like research your fighting game characters for them. Oh, also there's the anime. Oh, also there's all this history and weird things
And
about.
nothing
If you've
makes
seen
sense.
Nothing makes sense.
If you've seen the episode, we condensed it down as much as we possibly could. And even then, there's still so much more to both games that we couldn't even touch on.
Yeah.
You got the constellation, that was cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
But anyway, we'll move on to the next.
Thank you.
Also, if you have like multiple questions, just for future reference, maybe try to keep them down so that we can keep moving.
I want to get
for
as many
everybody.
people as possible. So
Okay.
turn.
You know, I think they summed it up pretty good.
Hello again.
Hello.
And, well,
I can't see him.
you actually never answered my suggestion, but let's just sweep that under the table for now. But my personal question is, for each of you, what is your favorite death battle that you have been working on? Or what have you found it to be the most difficult to do?
Favorite ones that we've worked on?
Yes.
I'm sorry, we're doing a panel here.
Sorry, that sounds less intimidating.
But really. Anyway. Okay.
All right, so favorite death battles
What is
we've
our
worked on.
favorite death
Go,
battle?
starting here.
One of my favorites is Chuck Norris versus Segata Sancho.
Yeah. I'm 70 seconds, that's such an always in
I'm not
one.
going to say anything about who the commanders are, but there's a similarly cartoony one coming up that I'm also very much looking forward to.
Ooh, cool, a similar cartoony one.
I mean, I'm gonna be straight up. My favorite one that I worked on was Goku vs Superman 1. Just because it took 2.5 years, and I find the matchup fascinating. And we basically started the show to answer that. Like that was one of the main goals. Like we were
really
Goku vs Superman. But let's kind of build up a reputation first. But I will always say the quintessential episode of Death Battle is Starscream vs Rainbow Dash. If you can't enjoy that episode, sorry, I don't think you're really gonna enjoy Death Battle.
No. For me, definitely the most fun to work on was He-Man versus Lion-O.
Yeah. Oh man, I finished my first game.
He-Man and Thundercats, and the way Ben and I did it was like, I took He-Man, he took Thundercats, and every day we tried to one-up each other with a ridiculous feat. You know, he'd be like, oh, well, Lionel did blank. Like, oh, yeah? Well, here's Superman ripping out a stalactite and spinning around. He-Man, sorry. Ripping out a stalactite and then spinning around so fast he drilled to the center of the earth. He was like, oh, yeah? Well, here's Lionel going to the center of the earth with a Thundercats. Like, just every day I'm like, well, here's He-Man just magicking a chain back together.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was a lot of fun to work on. We got to write it.
Yeah, Chad. I'm with you on that.
Oh, gosh. Besides everyone that I've done. Iron Man versus Lex.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Iron Man versus Lex was it was a lot of fun. I was trying to. It's basically Goku versus Superman, but in giant armor. Around everywhere. When we started that, I was like, I don't care what we do, I don't care what you guys write. We're gonna slam Lex into a building, drag him up a building,
yeah,
into a bridge.
Thank you, man.
Let me go over a little bit of how the writing to animation process goes. Like, we'll write the script. Like with Iron Man vs. Lex, I wrote a script and I got the voice actors and was like, okay, here's the lines that they're gonna do. But when it gets to the action scene, it's like, okay, Iron Man's in the Hulkbuster here. Lex comes out the building. They're on the street. Torian does something epic here, and then they have to end up in this location. So that's kind of how a lot of the fight goes. We obviously make sure that the fight kind of follows the research.
Yeah.
So you know,
I like that. I love the part he just drags him through the building.
Throw another arm or something like that. But Torian does a lot of the choreography himself, and like the mocap and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that touch. Just drag through, throw him up the bridge. I love that.
Thank you for answering my questions, and you do God's work.
You do God's work. Yeah, they kind of do. They kind of do.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
what's up?
Not much. My question is, what's the hardest death battle that you've ever had to make?
Like
wasn't that one already?
To determine the winner?
Hardest
one that we ever had to make was Goku vs Superman 1 because it took 2.5 years.
And aside from that,
wasn't this right?
Cloud.
All right.
That was probably the closest matchup we have ever had.
Really?
I think like
Link versus Cloud. We would basically come up with a decision one day, go home, and the next day I would be like, oh no.
Oh, it was
changes
awesome.
everything.
we argued so much. The rest of the office got in on it. Everybody's like yelling at each other, and then finally it's like, okay, we have it. And I'm like, I thought we had it. I'm like, thank God that's over. This is like the third day. And I get home, and then my phone goes off, and I have a text from Ben, and it's, oh, no, blank would win because of blank. And I just go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I would actually love to see the development process of that
the
episode.
work you guys do is awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Godspeed.
And Godspeed. I wonder what my question. I have two questions actually, my own.
Hey guys, I'm Jonathan.
Hey man.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
I want to ask, how in the world did you convince Christopher Sabat to be the voice of Solid Snake?
Chris Sabat was actually really excited about it.
Super awesome.
Like apparently, anytime he's been asked before if there's any character he would want to play that somebody else plays, he's always answered Solid Snake. It's a character he really wanted to play, so we got to give it to him, which is awesome.
Chris Sabat is absolutely awesome. I got to do a thing with them that is to remain secret, but so I was in the room with Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel, right? Also have an awesome picture of Sean looking really pissed off at me. So I'm talking with Chris, and like I was talking with Sean, and he comes up and he's just like, hey man, you need to do some work with him, to Sean Schemmel, who's the voice of Goku. And He's like, oh yeah? And then Chris starts messing with him. He's just like, yeah, man, they pay really well. And that's when I started laughing. And then Sean's like, oh yeah, how many zeros? And I'm like, well, you can put as many zeros as you want on that because it starts with 1. So yeah, huge thank you to Chris Abbott. He did that for free for us, which is really nice of him. So.
Oh, that's nice of him. Thanks for applause for that.
I just want to say, if y'all convince any more voice actors like that to do it, then good luck. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man.
All right, we're going to have to start rapid firing these questions. If we want to get
rapid fire. I'll ask my questions at the end of this thing.
Kid who pissed you off in the opening ceremony.
Hi, kid.
What's up, man?
It's Marvel, by the way. How many episodes do you have in lineup every time you start like a season?
Well, we don't really do seasons.
Seasons died now. Yeah, we started
we did do
doing
season
that.
Season 1, kind of, but that was more because we had some animation issues behind the scenes. But basically, we just plan out like, okay, these are going to be the next 10 fights. Let's go with that. And then when we start getting close to the end, we're like, what are the next 10 fights going to be? And I've got a giant list, like 500 pages of suggestions that I've pulled from YouTube comments and Facebook comments and things like that we just pull up and we're like, okay, what are we going to do next? Okay, let's do these. And that's basically how we set up the next season of 10 episodes.
Okay. And if Goku doesn't win, you're a dead man.
I don't know. All I heard was if Goku doesn't win something. Taka! Did you pay him?
Did you pay him? Oh, the kid got paid? I would have done that if I got paid. Nice play, kid. Nice play. I applaud you on that.
I wish that was the first time I saw Taka slip money to a little boy. I'm kidding. I love it.
Pay kid to talk shit.
What is the most shocking outcome for the death battles? Like, what one shocked you guys the most to see who won?
What?
Like, when you guys found out all the research and made a decision.
What feat did we find that shocked us the most?
Yeah.
He-Man running around a lake so fast that the lake literally came up and then he moved it to another lake. Just by running.
Or, I mean, just when we looked up Rainbow Dash.
Oh yeah, because Starscream vs. Rainbow Dash started out as a joke that we were just talking about at lunch, and when we got back to the office, we were like, let's see what Rainbow Dash can actually do. See if we can make a joke death battle with it. And then we looked it up on the Wikipedia page and we're like, what the crap is this pony?
They kept coming into my office like all giddy and they were just like, dude, holy shit! What this little pony can do? What about you, Nick? Anything to use?
Holy shit, Blue.
I was interrupting. Hey, one of these things out of here. Guess what I got in my hands? From Balloon Guy. 3 seconds to guess.
Sorry.
3, 2, 1. Garlic Jr.
What?
Okay.
What's happening?
Garlic Jr. I got it from the Balloon Guy.
Sorry, we just got distracted by Craig.
Oh.
So.
It's really hard to hear.
Anyway, I said you have 5 seconds to guess what I'm holding in my hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's Garlic Jr. And second of all, I got it from the Balloon Guy. Second of all, I want to say you guys are doing an amazing job. I've had a few questions. Can you guys have ever thought of holding polls to see which character you want your fans want to see fight against too? Because I've always wanted to see Guts from Berserk go up against Lucy from Elf and Lead. I've been making this for the past since I think 2011.
What is that?
Excuse me. What is the question?
Are you thinking of hosting polls to decide? Let the fans decide.
Do we use polls?
Which character is going to fight against which character? Like this character.
We don't use polls.
We don't use polls
through the research and then arguing along.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's literally how we do it.
And then also in terms of for fight matchup, we just look at comments and we try and get a good estimate of what. 2 things. One thing we see a lot of requested, that means people really want to see the fight, or 2, we just think it would be a really awesome fight. So.
Most of the time it's by fan request, but sometimes we come across a fight matchup that we're like, oh, this could be really interesting.
Fox versus Bucky.
Yeah,
right,
that was a good one.
What's your favorite ending of a death battle? Mine's Pikachu smoothie.
Here's Pikachu.
Pikachu is pretty funny.
Holy shit.
People got a little antsy about that one.
Yeah.
Eating Pikachu's head off and then blending them together. That's probably my favorite.
That one kind of that one was more like just shocking to me, actually.
Ben and I found out that I'm a really, really twisted person.
You are sadistic. You are evil. Actually, you say you're evil because you wanted, he says he's evil because he wanted Batman's original death to Spider-Man to be Spider-Man jumping up on his head and like plugging his mouth full of webbing. until he basically choked him. Nick over here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think I like Nick's
Nick
original
over here did
image
the
to
original
Snake.
script of Solid Snake versus
Oh,
Sam
do you have to
Fisher.
really?
Okay.
I was tired when I wrote this. I was not, like, I woke up, looked at it, I was like, what did I write?
You know how in Solid Snake versus Sam Fisher we have Otacon and Grimm, right, acting as support, and eventually Otacon takes down Grimm's setup in the plane. The way Nick had it originally written, I think he might have just done it out of order, because basically when Snake and Sam went into that dark room, Snake beat the crap out of Sam, and it was written literally. What was it? He like meticulously breaks every bone in Sam's body over the slowest possible time he can.
I didn't write it like that.
It was basically that. And then after Snake has beaten Sam, then Otacon decides, okay, I'm gonna hack into that plane and kill this woman. And it was like, wow, Nick.
And he's like, hey, Tori, can you animate this plane crashing into the building?
Alright, we got time for a couple more questions because we're going to show this episode.
Oh shit, okay, I gotta get ready. Okay, I gotta get ready, good.
What's the most suggested death value you have received?
Hang on, can you speak up? It's hard for us to hear.
What is the most requested death value you have ever received that you have not done yet?
Besides going versus
That we have not done yet.
That we have not done yet, Galactus versus Unicron.
Galactus versus Unicron.
Yeah.
That or Hulk versus Doomsday / Broly, depending on. We see a lot of those.
Let's go rapid fire here.
Rapid fire.
Everyone's like, oh, that would be sweet.
On average, from like the time you seriously decide to do this death battle to when it comes out, how long does that normally take?
Depends on the fight.
Yeah, it really depends on the fight, how much research we have to do. Sometimes, like...
I would have questions, but I know they would not answer them.
Captain America, we did that one specifically because our schedule at the time didn't allow for a lot of time, and we already had all the Batman research, so it was like,
It was my first one, too.
Yeah,
so then we just had to research Captain America and take that with what we already knew about Batman.
Kind of update Batman with what had changed.
Yeah,
It wasn't a whole lot.
It wasn't much, but it was something.
Yeah, so it really depends on the fight. We give animation typically about, like, what is it for you, 6 months?
No, I mean 4 to 6. Just
or not months, weeks.
Yeah, 4 to 6
Sorry.
weeks.
Each 3D animated fight is about 6 weeks of work. Sprite work is about 4 weeks of work. So that's the animation.
Alright, I'm getting yelled at that we really need to get going on this. So this is our absolute final question. We're going to show the episode as long as it's quick.
With your first episode, which was Samus versus Boba Fett, was that your own idea or did somebody else give that to you?
The matchup?
Yeah.
The matchup Samus versus Boba Fett is actually based on Haloid, which is Samus versus Master Chief. Because Haloid was a big inspiration on Monty Olam's. Haloid was one of the...
Haloid. Okay, I gotta search that up actually. I never actually seen Haloid.
In his work was a huge inspiration for Death Battle, especially Haloid. And when we first made Boba Fett versus Samus, when we were making the first episode, I was like, we can do something similar, but like let's make it about bounty hunters rather than space warriors. And we went from there. And then one of the best moments I think I've ever had regarding Death Battle was when we went to RTX, and Monty was like, Death Battle's awesome. I love what you guys do. I was like, this is really cool. This is like everything I've always kind of wanted to happen. So.
Okay, I gotta wrap up the Q&A one right now. Okay. Okay, blah 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 blah.
I'm pretty sure there's
it's like, God, that movie got the... Why was I drumming the transforming voice right there? So I was like, oh, great, we gotta do this again. Let's just do this shit.